What is up, Gig Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Big news today. It looks like GrubHub has turned down Uber's acquisition offer. Now, this is huge news for GrubHub delivery drivers who originally saw the video that I put out about a week ago and saw that Uber was interested in buying GrubHub. But GrubHub delivery drivers really have a cushy job. You know, we've got it pretty good. We get to see a lot of information up front about orders. A lot of drivers say that the pay is just better with GrubHub, plus that info that you get on tips is really good to know up front. So us GrubHub delivery drivers did not want to be acquired by Uber. But Uber had continued to press forward in the negotiation, and they were really doing all that they could to court GrubHub. But huge news has broken today, as it looks like GrubHub is going to be acquired and merged with Justeat Takeaway. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering, who is Justeat Takeaway? What is this company? I've never heard of this name. And that's because they are a European food delivery service, which was created by the combination of Justeat and Takeaway, two different food delivery services, which combined a while back, not too long ago, and now they have acquired GrubHub. And here's why this is really good news. It looks like GrubHub has just decided to do the right thing, which is something that we don't always see in the gig economy. A lot of times it looks like these food delivery companies, these app companies, whether they're rideshare, delivery, shopping, are really just looking out for their own best interests, not looking out for the gig economy workers. But what we've seen from GrubHub here and statements that they released is that they are concerned, or they were concerned, with antitrust issues that would have come about if they had been acquired by Uber. And that's because Uber acquiring GrubHub would have led to a 55% market share for Uber, which would have made them by far the biggest player in the food delivery market. And we all know that when there are too few competitors and companies get too big, this is bad for competition. This creates little competition, which can lower prices. It can lower wages for delivery drivers. It can create less competition between restaurant fees. So that means that Uber could potentially increase those restaurant fees. It potentially has a lot of negative impact across a wide array of different areas. So what does this mean going forward for GrubHub delivery drivers? Well, there's a lot to think about here. I mean, if GrubHub had been acquired by Uber, there would have been a ton of concerns about changes to the app, changes to the pricing model, really a ton of changes that would come through. Now, there are still concerns about what exactly this will mean for GrubHub now that they are acquired by Justeat Takeaway. Are those same changes going to happen? Well, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen, to be completely honest with you, but we do know that they weren't acquired by Uber. So the outcome is definitely more optimistic here, because though we know very little about Justeat Takeaway, we know a lot about Uber, and what we know about Uber, we don't necessarily like. So what I would speculate is that things will remain relatively the same for a while. I mean, it takes a long time for these deals to go through, and if any app changes were to happen, they would happen, very far down the road. But I don't think that they're as likely to happen as they were if Uber were to acquire GrubHub, and here's why. Justeat Takeaway does not have a big name in the US. People like you and me don't even know what this is. So rebranding or bringing in app changes to make their app more similar to the European platform would probably hurt the business model. The fact that GrubHub has already established a name here in the US is something that Justeat Takeaway sees as a positive, and they're probably going to want to keep that. So I'm optimistic about this deal and what it means for drivers. If you're a GrubHub driver, I'd love to know what your opinion is. Leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen here to drivers, to pay, to the app, if any changes are going to happen? And, how optimistic are you going forward? If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of the latest gig economy news and updates.